Alright, haven't done one of these in a while. Whew. This is gonna work though. I know it's gonna work. Run and jump on the bike. Start the video. It's not that hard to do, right? And here we go. Oh! What the? What the fuck? Where? What the fuck? The trash can? That's not where I wanted to go. A lot of people say the Gold Wing is a piece of trash, but whatever, man. Roll the intro. Shit. So, what's up, y'all? It's freaking cold. It's like 44 degrees today. Missing rain. It's supposed to pour its ass off the next 2 days. So this was my one chance to take a ride, run an errand, and to get gas in the old whisper wagon before the week starts. But my main topic today is I'm going to talk about what do you do to set your bike up for a long trip. Now, as you can see right there, I'm putting my hand on my phone. I added the Goldstrike or the Zero phone mount. Now, I didn't do the quick charging phone mount because, well, I'm a lazy ass. And I didn't want to run all that cable and do all that shit in order to make it where it would just charge. Now, I've shown you the cubby before. I have the cubby where I charge my phone. However, I threw the Zero on there as something that I wanted to do in order for me to be able to see the GPS a little easier, have my music right there. The GPS on the bike, you can see it, and you can see the map. However, it just makes it a lot easier to me when I have the directions coming through the speakers and through the headset. Plus the fact, I just think Zero makes a really good product. Now, long story short, the main reason that I'm talking about this today is because I watched a video by Sinister Clutch. Again, before I go any further, I'm not trying to name drop. Sinister Clutch made a really good video about the Natchez Trace Parkway. And in a couple of months, me and my buddy George, who's been in several videos with me, we're going on the Natchez Trace Parkway and ride it all the way up to Nashville, Tennessee. So, in that spirit of things, I wanted to start looking at what do I need to do to get this bike totally ready for a good long trip. That trip, with the way I'm doing back roads, because I'm trying not to take any major highways unless I just have to, is going to be, I don't know, roughly 2,000 miles round trip. So my goal was to start looking at what do I need to do to get this thing set up. Now, we already know that I've got the Goldstrike grips on there. I've got the Utopia backrest. I have the Wing Soft seat, which we'll talk about in just a second. I have the Tour Pack. I got the new windshield that I put on a while back, the F4 Customs. Of course, I got the cup holder because old men on Gold Wings need cup holders. But it's convenient for long trips, but whatever. Anyhow, my main thing was I want to make sure I get the bike set up for a good long trip. Now, I know 2,000 miles is not a long trip compared to what some people do. There are people out there who do crazy amounts of trips. I could name them off. There's people who've done 100,000 miles to raise money. There's people who have, do 4, 5, 6, 7,000 mile trips. I, on the other hand, haven't got to take a good long trip since like 2018. So this was my chance to take about a 2,000 mile trip, and it's going to take about 4 days for us. So 500 miles a day, not exactly killing it, but going to be a decent trip. Anyhow, the other thing I'm doing to set the bike up is I'm getting a new seat. Now, I currently have the Wing Soft seat on the bike, and the Wing Soft is it's just a modified stock seat with a lot of padding. I bought that from my buddy David when he sold his Gold Wing, and I like it, and it's a decent seat. But man, after about 100 miles, you're really starting to feel it. Now, I know most people are going to say, man, after 100 miles, you want to stop anyway. But in theory, I wanted something a little nicer. So I did talk to Anonymous Biker USA and ask him about the Saddleman road sofa seat that he got. And he was real honest. He said, man, I haven't put enough miles on it to give a good review of it. He said, I like it so far, but I don't want to steer you wrong. And don't get me wrong, when it comes to seats, everybody's ass is different. Nobody likes the same seat. I've heard great things about Russell Daylong for this bike. I've used the Corbin on my Valkyrie before. So I really wasn't sure. But when I looked at the Saddleman, I looked at the reviews, I decided I'm going to go ahead and buy it. And the cool thing about Saddleman is, much like Corbin, man, they send you emails. I've got emails from them telling me that mine was on the cutting room floor, and now it's to the sewing department. Now they're putting the gel and the foam in and doing all the things that they do. So I'm hoping that that Saddleman seat, along with the backrest, which I got the rider backrest with it. I currently have a Utopia backrest on the bike, but I have the Saddleman rider backrest. I went ahead and got it. I didn't do colored stitching on it the way Anonymous did on his, because I plan on painting this bike, and I didn't want to do some kind of crazy stitching that was going to interfere with the color scheme I'm going to go with eventually. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think I'm about 3 weeks out from getting that in. I think that's going to make a big difference. I think with the cell phone holder, the cup holder, all the little things I've done, along with the seat, is going to make the trip more comfortable. Of course, I have the highway pegs, the Goldstrike highway pegs. Most of the stuff I have on the bike is Goldstrike stuff, with the exception of the Utopia backrest, simply because Zero and Goldstrike make a ton of stuff for the Gold Wing. They're one of the few companies that actually does. But my main thing was, what are you doing to your bike? What are the things you've done to your bike to set it up for long trips? If there's something I've missed, leave me a comment telling me, hey, Smitty, you might want to think about this. You might want to look at this. Even if you're not a Gold Wing rider, if there's something that you've done to your bike, let me know. Because these are the kind of things that, it's been several years since I've taken a long trip. I feel like I've got it set up right. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, what would you do? Again, sorry I had to voice over this thing because microphone failure, but at least I got out and rode and froze my balls off, and in order to give you guys a little something more than me standing in my garage talking shit. Hey, y'all, do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you get notifications when the shit show gets rolling again. It's cold, 44 degrees and mist and rain. Not a good combination for somebody who lives in Houston. We're not used to that shit. It's cold, but it's like 70% chance of rain the next 3 days, or next 2 days rather. So I had to go get gas on the bike and run an errand. I said, you know what, I'm gonna ride, because hopefully all this shit got filmed that I rode, that I did while riding, because last time it didn't work. Anyway, like we talked about in the video, well, what do you have to go on your trips? In the comments, tell me what's a necessity for you. What's something, if you're going to take a longer trip. 2,000 miles is not a long trip. There's people who take way longer trips than that. But I'm just saying, if you're going to take a day trip or a good long trip or a 4 or 5 day trip, what do you need? Leave down in the comments and tell me. Just want to tell you guys thanks for watching. I appreciate your support. Hey, sub numbers are slowly going back up. I'm putting videos out now. Imagine that. But thanks again. Hey, I want you guys to have a great day. Let's try not to be assholes to each other. And I'll see y'all next time.